Order of operations. One way to remember which order to do some of the problems, whether you do addition, subtraction, or multiplication first, makes a big difference. One way to remember it is to remember the word BEDMAS. BEDMAS is an easy way to remember it because each letter stands for something else. B is brackets. You always do stuff in brackets first. So you'll see this, or sometimes you'll see square brackets. You always do everything inside the brackets from the inside first. Exponents, we're not going to worry about exponents right now, but all exponents are is something raised to the power of 2, say 2 to the power of 5. Division and multiplication, okay, they're equal, so you do whichever one comes first in the equation from left to right. So if division is there first, do division first before multiplication, and vice versa. And finally, the last two, addition or subtraction, you save these two till the very last, and you do them in whatever order they appear. So we'll always be coming back to this BEDMAS when we do each problem. Let's start with this problem here. We could do the multiplication first, the addition first, or the division first, or the subtraction first. But according to BEDMAS, first thing we do is brackets. There was none. We don't worry about exponents yet at this stage. Division and then multiplication. So we do division first. And I always like to underline it kind of like this. Here's the division problem. And then rewrite all of the things so that you don't forget to do them at the end. So I rewrite this. I'm going to put a bracket down there just so I know that this becomes something else. And then write the last part as well. So now 36 divided by 4 is 9. And a way to check that, 9 times 4 will give you 36. Now we can go ahead and decide what we're doing next. According to BEDMAS, multiplication comes after the division. So here's our multiplication problem, so I'll put my squiggly line there, and then I'll rewrite everything else so I don't forget to do it at the end. Now 9 times 6 is 54. And that's done. Our next step is either addition or subtraction in whatever way it appears. And of course, I will do the addition first. Don't forget to write your subtraction so you don't forget to do it later. So 54 plus 9 is 63. And then finally, the only thing left to do is go 63, subtract 1, which is 62. So our total answer for all that will be 62. Another example, here you notice the multiplication is not there, but the division is, but we have to do brackets first because of the B. Now you notice there's square brackets, and then there's these curved brackets. Sometimes a negative number will be put in brackets like this, and then they end up using square brackets to keep the whole thing together. So we do whatever's inside the square brackets first. So even though it's addition, because it's brackets, we have to do it first. And then just rewrite so you don't forget everything else that is there at the end. Now, what is negative 6 plus a negative 2? It's going to be negative 8. Now, according to BEDMAS, we do division before we do addition. So let's do our division problem. 8 divided by 4 is 2. Don't forget to bring down what you left off over here. And that was negative 5. Now the question is, a negative divided by a positive will give you a negative. Put that together now. Negative 2 plus negative 5, and our answer will be negative 7. Another example. In this example, you can see there's no bracket around the negative, but in this case there is. So you might see it both ways. You'll also notice that there's a 6 outside this bracket. Whenever there's a 6 or any number touching a bracket and nothing in between it, you can assume that it is multiplication even though it's not written there. So according to BEDMAS, we're supposed to do brackets. Well, there's no brackets other than the brackets holding the numbers together. There's no exponents to worry about yet. There's division, sure, right here. So I'll underline the division, and then I'll remember to rewrite everything else so that I don't forget it. So now we have 8 divided by 4, which is 2. And we've got a negative divided by a negative, which is a nice positive 2. Now we have addition to do, and we have multiplication. And since we're supposed to do multiplication first, we will. But I'm going to rewrite this underneath again, just so I don't forget. So we've got 6 times 3 is 18. And since it's positive 6 times negative 3, it's a negative 18. The only thing left to do is do positive 2 plus a negative 18, and our answer there will be negative 16. Here we have a problem that is written as a fraction. And remember, anything written as a fraction, say 1 over 2, can really be written as 1 divided by 2. A fraction is nothing more than a division problem. So let's take this first one here to begin with. Well, since we have a lot of things on top, we're going to work out the top before we work out the bottom. So let's work out the top, or the numerator, first. Well, what have we got? We've got 2 plus 4 times negative 8. So we need to work out the multiplication part first according to BEDMAS. So I'll rewrite this 2 plus, and 4 times negative 8 is 32, and of course it's a negative because a positive times a negative is a negative. Now the only thing we have left to do to the top of this fraction, or the numerator we call it, is to go 2 plus a negative 32, and our answer is negative 30 on the top. So all this becomes negative 30. So now let's rewrite our equation. Negative 30 on top, and then we still have on the denominator, or the bottom, a negative 6. If we had stuff to work out on the bottom, we just simply work it out the same way we did with the top. A negative divided by negative is a positive, and 30 divided by 6 will give you 5, because 5 times 6 is 30. One last thing in this unit. You will need to know how to calculate the mean, and this is the average. To find this, you just simply add up all the integers, so whatever numbers you have, you add them up and then divide by the total number of integers that you had. So if you added up 6 numbers, you divide it by 6. If you added up 20 numbers, you divide it by 20. So let's add up all of our integers here first. We've got negative 8 plus 4 plus 6 plus 0 plus negative 5 plus negative 3. So if you add them up, you can do them one step at a time, or you can simply do them all in your head if you're that good at it. So negative 8 plus 4 is going to be negative 4. So negative 4 plus a 6 is going to be positive 2. So then we're going to have positive 2 plus a negative 5. That'll give us negative 3. And then a negative 3 plus a negative 3 is going to be a negative 6. So all of this, when we add them up, will equal negative 6, the total. Then we got to divide it by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So then we divide it by 6, and when we do that, 6 divided by 6 is 1, and it's going to be negative 1 because it's negative divided by a positive. So our mean, or sometimes we call it average in certain situations, the mean is negative 1. So that would be about the middle of those numbers, roughly. Now, do brackets really matter when you are working on problems? Well, let's look at it this way. We can change the answer by changing the brackets. So let's put a pair of brackets to make the answer minus 1. In this problem, we can either put our brackets there, or the only other place to put the brackets in the problem would be right here. Now let's work out both. Well, we've got negative 9 plus 6 divided by 3 is going to give us 2. So negative 9 plus 2, the answer will be negative 7. So that's not negative 1. Looking at it on the other side, if we put the brackets around there, negative 9 plus 6 is negative 3. Don't forget we still got divided by 3 there. 3 divided by 3 equals 1, and since it's a negative divided by a positive, the answer will be negative 1. So sometimes you're going to have to kind of experiment and try your brackets there, then try it in the other spot and see which way it'll give you the answer that you're asked to find.